Today I'm going to install the Windows System Resource Manager on this virtual server here. And I'm going to use the directions directly from Microsoft's TechNet site. It's always interesting to refer to these kind of how-tos and often see how different they are or how wrong they are, because the Windows updates often change what the online features say. So you start with Server Manager open. In most part, that's automatic. You boot up Server 2008, log in, Server Manager opens, and you look down in Feature Summary. Go to Add Features, and this wizard starts up. Which feature am I going to add? What's it called? Windows System Resources Manager. There we go. Yep, gonna have to add a little database. We'll go ahead and add that. Windows Internal Database got added. And I'll click Next. Okay, might have to restart. We'll see. And away we go. I have no idea how long this will take, so I'm going to turn off my microphone for a little bit here and let it run. That wasn't too bad. Didn't take as long as I thought it might. I don't think it's going to prompt for a restart either. Alright, so once it's running, we more likely need to check, make sure it is actually started. And that would be coming under, we can look for it here. Actually, let's do it this way. Cut right to the chase. Here we go. Services. Come on, open up. Any day now. Once we confirm it's running, we'll set up a couple of quick processes. A process, what do they call them here? Process matching criterion. In other words, some way to manage an ongoing process on the computer. It's going to be down W's. System Resource Manager is started. Okay, so it's running. And I'm going to switch over to another page here in the TechNet site. I'm going to create what's called a process matching criterion. And it says, watch this process for some reason. We're not going to get terribly, what's the word I want, deep into this. We're just going to see the bare minimum of how to set one up. So, Resource Manager should be appearing under Administrative Tools now. There it is. And bear with me because I'm going back and forth from screen to screen here. So far, their directions seem to be right on the money. We're going to connect to a computer. If you're, of course, in a large enterprise environment, you could do this on another computer. We're just connected to the local one here. in the console tree, which is the console tree over here. This is referred to as a tree. We're going to right-click Process Matching Criteria and say New One. I'll make a new one up. Let's give it a name. We just call it Lab. Go that way. Then we're up to, see, we got the name going here. Just going to add a process. See, file or command line. I know which one I want. Registered service. Running process. Let's go with select. I know which one I want. There, IE Explorer. It's Internet Explorer. So we're gonna that one's set up to be watched. Let me scan down through here, make sure I haven't missed anything yet. We're not going to exclude anything. Yeah, we're good. Click OK. I think we got everything. There, that was it. That's all it was. There's not a whole lot going on there. Expand this, we'll see Lab in there. There's a couple of built-ins. That's one of the basic little parts. Just create some management, some policy in here for that particular application. This part, this process matching criteria, is a prerequisite to creating a resource allocation policy. In other words, now you're picking a process or an app and saying, limit it to this much memory or limit it to this much CPU. So I'm going to run through this one right quick here. I'm already connected to the computer. We're looking at resource allocation policies. I'm going to right-click one, right-click that one, do a new one. We'll also call it Lab. And then we'll click Add. Let's see, process matching. We're going to use Lab. Well, we created earlier, the process we're watching. It's actually Internet Explorer. Percentage of processor allocated for this resource. Let's make it 15%. Memory, let's see, maximum committed. I don't know if I'm on this. Let's just stick with the general. I'm limiting Internet Explorer. That's the process we're matched here. I'm limiting it to 15% of the potential processor capabilities. Okay. That's it. I can put a description in here, tell you everything I just said, but we're going to go with that. That's it. You get this far in your own lab, now it's up to you to dig around and see what the results of these might be. I don't know, maybe install some other application if you can. Maybe a free LibreOffice or OpenOffice or something. You can check it, try to stress it out. While I'm here, talk about resources, processes, services, things of that nature. I wanted to show you, I hate when I do that. I wanted to show you some handy PowerShell commands for dealing with or looking at processes and resources and services. You probably know about Task Manager. There's my processes. A little bit of stuff there. There's services. There's stuff there, but you may need to filter that. Come on, window, get bigger for me. Yeah, it's not going to. You might want to filter that and get a different view or look for different information about processes. And PowerShell is really handy for that. First thing we'll do is PowerShell uses a verb-noun type construction, get service. And that's what I'm telling the PowerShell commandlet or shell here to get me all the services running on this computer. There they are. Run by them a little bit slower, go to page at a time. Here's all the processes running on the computer, on this server. What if I want to collect these and have a report to hand the boss? There's ways to output this PowerShell result, and instead of outputting to more, I'm going to do, I think it's out export CSV. Sometimes I have to go back and look at that. Yeah, export CSV. That is a Victor on the end, not a U. What am I doing? Service. Export CSV. Get service. In other words, get all of these, export them in a CSV format, and export them to this file on the root of C. Okay. This result gave us 3 columns, right? There's a lot more there. There's a lot more than you might think. Come on. Why, you silly thing. I think I know what it's doing. I didn't set my policy on it. Yep. Let's back up here. Excuse me. Set execution policy. Yes, make it unrestricted. Thank you. There we go. Excuse me. The PowerShell is rather rigid in its security. I had forgotten I hadn't set my policy. And when I was trying to run this, since I was trying to write a file to the C drive, it said no. It doesn't tell me it's saying no, it just says no. So anyway, let's go look at that file. Where did I put it? Root of C. There it is. Open it. Oh, you know what? I don't have an Office, or I don't have a reader for that. Doggone it. How am I going to look at that? Well, there's another way to do this. Let's repeat that command. And do it this way. Let's convert it to HTML, which is what a web page is. Really? Did I break it? There's a switch I gotta add. No? Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. Maybe I just need HTML. I know I've done this. I'm looking at the directions right now. Typed everything correctly, spelled it all correctly. Yep. Huh, that's very interesting. Well, I'm looking at the directions right from TechNet, and guess what? Not doing exactly what they said it was. Maybe it's the redirect. It was the redirect. See, there's always something. There it is in HTML. All the services running on the computer. there's a lot more than that. There's a ton of headings in there. If you have Excel or something that will open CSV files, I don't think I can open that with Notepad. Let's try it with Notepad. Well, it'll open it, but it's kind of hard to read. There's a ton of information in there. I'll leave you to explore that in depth yourself. PowerShell is something you need to learn though. I just wanted to show you a few here. The to-get process. There's all the processes. Let's get one at a time. That's just handles up the top, the process name. Only 2 pages of those. Those two, get process, get service, very useful. They can be written into scripts, allowing you to take a snapshot. You can schedule that script to run every 4 hours, 5 hours, 6, every hour, and actually get a snapshot of what the what services are going on, what are running, what processes are running. You can filter your results so that you're not looking at everything here. You could be looking at 1 or 2 columns. Let's see what we got here. There's memory usage. There's CPU cycle, number of handles, which are kind of like little programming hooks. In other words, got 5,000 handles out. DNS, it's got a lot of stuff going on. It's hard to describe from a programming sense here, because I'm not much of a programmer, but it gives you a sense of how many hooks into the system that program might have. So anyway, Windows System Resource Manager and a couple of quick PowerShell commands. Have fun, dig around, play with it. Hope you got a virtual machine, just break it if you have to. Whenever you install a virtual machine, browse to the location where the folder itself was stored. Make a couple copies of it if you got the room to spare. That way you break one, you just fire another one right back up. All right?